everybody can surf.
Inspiring travel on the BBC.
In tennis, every little thing counts. And that can really be felt here at the Billie Jean King Cup Finals in Glasgow. With more than 100 countries involved, it's the largest annual international team competition in women's sport. This year, it was won by Switzerland. They were amongst the teams embracing Billie Jean's collaboration with Microsoft to add another layer to their in-match coaching during games. Analytics of all aspects of the game are being generated from ball tracking cameras and 3D radar systems around the court. The data can then be accessed via cloud platform Azure, meaning professionals and their coaches can see it in real time during their play. So can this technology really improve your game? Well, I'm going to go and test it out.
I have noticed that you do favor your backhand a bit, and you're quite strong in your backhand. On the return of serve, you're still dropping it a little bit short, but as soon as you got into that third ball, look at that shot. You have a tendency to really push it deep, push it wide. It does result in some points won for you right there.
And someone who certainly knows a thing or two about winning is Billie Jean King. With 39 Grand Slam titles, she's a legend of the game. How much of a better player do you think you may have been if you'd had access to this?
So much better. I was very adaptable and I could learn quickly. You know, if someone showed me something, and I love challenges. So adaptable, you can set it up any way you want. I mean, you can find out about your RPMs, you know, how much spin on the ball. You can find out trajectory, you can find out, you know, percentage of first and second serves.
And what do you say to critics that might say, well, I want to keep tennis a bit more traditional, this is almost cheating?
It's not happening. I think it'll hurt our sport if we went that way. I wish, oh my God, I would have given anything to have what you guys have, because I like all this. I love information, I love learning, I love all these things, and our generation, we couldn't even look at videos.
And she's not the only one thinking that using this kind of tech can be beneficial. Coco Gauff made headlines when she became the youngest player since 2005 to qualify for a WTA finals.
We've seen people lose matches in millimeters and lose matches because they got aced in the same direction over and over again. I've certainly lost matches where I didn't notice that I was getting served to the same spot because you're so caught up in your emotions at times. So yeah, definitely when you can see it, and you know, when your coaches say it too, sometimes you get stubborn out there so you don't believe it. But when you can see it for yourself, I think it's a different addition to it.
These analytics, which are now available to the players, can not only enhance the competition, but can also give something to the fans.
You know, everybody in the stands should probably be seeing all this, is what I'd like to see. Children today and young people want experiences. What affords you experience? Technology.
Do you see this really the future of tennis?
Oh, for sure. It's here already. It's just going to get better and better.
My name is Isra Warda. I'm an Algerian dancer based in New York City. I had learned traditional dance in a very special, unique way, through natural transmission. So I had to start and go back and learn how to codify dances. How do I teach these styles that nobody really taught me with a pen and paper, but I learned by just looking and following.
Stories of success, stories of failure, stories of strength, stories of corruption, stories of hope, Stories of despair, stories of optimism, resilience, achievement, triumph. Remarkable stories from different places around the world. Join us for a series of stunning award-winning documentaries. Why Stories on BBC World News.
The defendant will never be released.
Welcome to our viewers who are watching from around the world. What you are seeing are live pictures of the Old Bailey here in London, where Mrs. Justice May is delivering her sentencing remarks in the case of Wayne Couzens. He is being sentenced for indecent exposure, one of the offences committed just days before he killed Sarah Everard. Now, he is not in court. He has appeared via video link from Franklin Prison, where he is serving a whole life sentence for murdering Sarah Everard in March 2021. She was only 33 years old. The reason this case is so significant is that the case of Sarah Everard sparked national outcry, calls for more action to tackle violence against women as well, and it did real damage to society's confidence in the police. So there was a huge amount of reaction and response to the Sarah Everard case, which is one of the reasons why this sentencing has been so closely followed. So that was live pictures we were just seeing from the Old Bailey. This is BBC News. Welcome if you're watching here in the UK or around the globe. I'm Lucy Hockings. Our top stories. 1 month on after the devastating earthquakes that killed more than 50,000 people in Turkey and Syria, many are still living without proper shelter.
You can't deal with devastation on a scale like this in days or even in weeks. The impact of this is going to be felt by people here in southern Turkey for years.
A suicide attack in southwest Pakistan has killed at least 9 police officers. The explosion struck a police truck in Baluchistan province. Migrants crossing the English Channel in small boats would be banned from ever returning to the UK under new government plans. Refugee charities say the proposals are unfair and unworkable. Bangladeshi authorities are investigating the cause of a massive fire in the world's largest refugee camp. 12,000 people have now been left without shelter. And the stars behind the Irish comedy, the Banshees of Inisherin, speak to us ahead of the Oscars, which are on Sunday.
To feel it as colloquial and then see it go out into the world and be received by people from all sorts of, the corners of the globe that we share has been pretty surprising and cool.
Hello, welcome to BBC News. We start with breaking news from the Old Bailey here in London. The former Met Police officer Wayne Couzens has been sentenced to 19 months in prison today after admitting to 3 counts of indecent exposure, one of which he committed 4 days before killing Sarah Everard. To remind you, though, he is currently serving a whole life term for the murder of 33-year-old Sarah Everard. Here is Wayne Couzens. He did not appear in court. He was there via video link from Franklin Prison, where, as I mentioned, he is serving a whole life sentence for murdering Sarah Everard in March 2021. And to explain to our viewers around the world, that was a hugely significant case for many people in England because of the national outcry over her death, the fact that he was a serving police officer, the calls there were at the time for more action to tackle violence against women. There were protests on the streets across the UK as well, and it was seen that this case did a huge amount of damage to how women particularly saw police and their confidence in the police as well. So you're looking at a picture of Wayne Couzens. He's 50. He did not appear in court. He appeared via video link from Franklin Prison. We will take you to the Old Bailey shortly. And of course, bbc.co.uk/news has a live page up and running for you right now, just taking you through what has happened in court today and the background.